You know what I really fucking hate? Buses. Why? Because they're a fucking piss take. How often have you stood at a bus stop knowing what time it's due to arrive and expected it to show up in like the next 5 or 10 minutes or so, and it ended up like being 10 or 20 minutes fucking late? Well, I can tell you it's happened to me a fucking lot. Way too much even. I remember a few years ago when I used to go to, let's call it Town A, I'd be stood at the bus stop on the opposite side of the road waiting for a bus to take into the town to go to work or meet a friend or whatever, and more often than not I'd see 2, sometimes 3 buses go past in the other direction while standing on side A just waiting for one bus to appear. Now, when I stopped visiting Town A and went to college in Town B, which is in the opposite direction, I'd now have to stand at the bus stop on side B, thinking to myself, well, at least now I won't have to deal with the buses fucking around because they're as regular as clockwork on this side. And guess what? The same fucking thing happens! Seriously? I'm now standing on the side where 2 or 3 buses used to go past, or my side did even see 1, and now they're all going past on side A. Like there's some kind of frigging bus god watching everything I do and laughing at me as I stand there like a fucking idiot. There was one time where the bus I was waiting for was so late that when it showed up, the next bus was right behind it, and several other times the bus didn't even show up at all, so I had to wait for the next one. There was another time when I went to see a movie with my brother and a friend, and when my brother and I got back to the bus station in Town A, we were waiting for almost a frigging hour for a bus to show up. We looked at the arrival times and found that 2 buses should have showed up but didn't. So 2 of these buses just disappeared on the way into town. Where did they go? What happened to them? How do you lose a frigging bus? It's not a set of fucking car keys, is it? What happened to them? Were they raided by bus bandits or something? Well, whatever. The bus eventually shows up. And when you get on, guess what? It's crammed like it's in a frigging sardines, like everyone's going this way, all steps out of the houses all in time to catch this one fucking bus. A lot of the time when you get on the bus, there's only a couple of available seats, if any at all, so you'll always be sitting in the aisle, knowing you might have to get up off your ass to let the person next to you get off. And have you ever encountered that weirdo on the bus? You know, the arsehole who wants to sit there rambling his arse off to you even though you've never met the guy in your whole fucking life. Even when you're sitting there with your headphones on listening to your iPod, like, leave me the fuck alone. I don't even know who the fuck you are. Just shut up. Nobody else is talking to me. Nobody else is talking to anyone. Just sit there until the bus takes you to your bus stop. So now after going through all this shit, I'm on the bus at the end of the day, on my way home, and guess what? The fucking thing breaks down. Well, that's just fucking great. I put up with all this shit on a daily basis, and the fucking thing can't even be trusted to make it from A to B without stopping dead in the middle of the fucking road. So now I've got to get off and find either another bus stop and wait for another bus which is probably going to be fucking late, or just walk the rest of the damn way. I remember one time it happened on the way to college in the morning one day, and again on the way back home the following day. This wouldn't be such a problem if it was more of a rare occurrence, but it happens way too often. I mean, it happens all the fucking time. You wouldn't believe how many times I've been, late home at night because the fucking bus couldn't hold itself together. I'm not an expert on buses. I honestly don't know a whole lot about them, or vehicles in general. But shouldn't these things have regular maintenance checks? Because apparently they fucking need it. And if they are checked regularly, then it's not fucking regular enough. And could they check them a little bit more closely? If not to just stop them from, falling apart every couple of fucking days. Oh, and the bus stations. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em to hell. Don't you just hate when you've been waiting for a bus for the last 20 minutes and it shows up late as hell, and you think you're finally about to get on a bus and go home, but then the driver gets off because they have to switch around for some fucking reason, and sometimes they'll keep you waiting for another 10 to 15 minutes or so before another driver shows up to man the frigging bus. I mean, how busy is this other bus driver? I mean, how busy is he while he's waiting for the bus to show up? Shouldn't he be like standing by, ready to get on as soon as it pulls in? Why does he need to take an entire fucking age to get to the bus stop? And queuing up at the stand while waiting to get on a bus. Why do I even bother? Why is it that when a group of us who have been waiting at the stand for the last 20 minutes or so are all standing in a line to get on the bus in an orderly fashion, there's always a mass of dickheads all gathering up at the end of the stand waiting to push through everyone as we're all queuing up since before they even showed up. I mean, seriously, don't they even know how a fucking bus queue works? Is it lost on them? Like, who the hell do they think they are? Get to the back of the fucking queue like everybody else, you ignorant fucks. And there you have it. We rely on buses to get from point A to point B, and most of the time, because of all this bullshit, it's more trouble than it's fucking worth. And that is why I fucking hate buses.